Okay, so this might be the end of the course, but it is by no means the end of your English learning journey. Like any skill, repetition is the key to mastery. And that is why it is very important for you to make a habit out of your English learning practice. I like to think of learning a language like getting fit or getting into shape, doing some exercise. So if you have this goal of your ideal body or your ideal fitness level, you cannot just get there overnight. You can't just run a marathon and expect yourself to be able to do it with no training. So in the same way, you will need to, little by little, every day, just do a few minutes of practice. And eventually you will start to gain what we call muscle memory, which is when you effortlessly can do things that many weeks or months before were very difficult and you really had to concentrate to do it. And that is the same as when you are learning a language. So your brain is also like a muscle which needs to be exercised again and again. And although in the beginning it might be difficult to learn new words or to incorporate new phrases, you eventually, after repetition of these phrases, will find it automatic to recall these words or any phrases that you would want to use in different situations. So, always remember that in language we have different components, the 4 different components of reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Now, it is really key for you to point out which aspects of your language are the weaker points, or they are the ones that you want to focus on the most. And really hone in on activities and exercises you can do to improve that area of your language skill. So for example, if you want to practice your reading skill, then of course reading is a great opportunity for you to learn new vocabulary, to also be able to expand your fluency when reading something so you can read it quicker and understand more. And you can also become familiar with new phrases or new words that you didn't know before. So you could make a habit of, for example, reading articles in English or reading a novel or a book, something that is of interest to you. And just take note of any words or phrases that are new to you. Look up the definitions, look up ways that you can use this word in different sentences, and especially look at how you would use this word in a way that makes sense in your life. So use sentences that are sentences you would say. Don't just use a sentence from the dictionary that you would probably never have any relevance for using. So this is a very important technique always. Tailor the language to you. Make it relevant to your life and the conversations that you would usually have in your home language. So another way to get new vocabulary in is through your listening skill practice, and this can be through listening to audiobooks instead of reading, or listening to podcasts or videos. And listening is really great because it doesn't have so much effort that you have to put in like you do when reading. And you can do this when you are doing another activity to kill time. So maybe you're waiting on a bus, or you are washing some dishes at home or cooking. You can just plug in your earphones and listen to someone speaking in English about something that is interesting for you. This is also another key point. You need to make sure that what you are consuming in English is something exciting for you, something interesting. So remember, in the beginning of the course, we spoke about motivation and how if you are motivated, you are more likely to continue this practice. And if you are listening to something that is very interesting or exciting for you, maybe you really like sports or nature or travel, and you are watching movies or listening to audiobooks or podcasts about these topics, you will find it so much more motivating to get your English practice in through these methods, rather than just listening to someone speaking about something in history that you don't care about. So identify again what makes you excited and what motivates you. Then we have, of course, watching movies and watching TV shows, which is a very popular way for many people to practice their English in a way that is entertaining. So you could, of course, watch American or British, any kind of English medium movies or TV shows, and have the subtitles showing in English as well, or in your home language to make it a bit easier. Now, a key here is not to just passively watch this and read the subtitles. It is really to listen out for how they say things, so the tone, the phrases that they use to create humor, and also always pause the show or the movie if there is a phrase or a word that you don't know, that you would like to either look up in the dictionary or incorporate and learn into your own speaking practice. So again, you can take notes and write some example sentences relevant to your life. Then when we think about our writing skill, something that I think is a really great practice is to do what we've done with reading or listening or watching something, and then write a kind of response or write a review of this movie or this book or TV show. So this is a great way to digest what you've consumed and also be able to create your own response using your production of English. So production meaning we are now practicing how to use English in an output sense. So writing and speaking are our main output ways of using English. So you could read an article, write a summary or write a review of this, and then even as speaking practice, you could read this article or even learn this article and say it out loud to yourself in the mirror, or even read it out to your family or friends if they are willing to help you. So these are great ways for you by yourself to just reinforce your English learning in little ways every day. They don't have to mean that you enroll in some big other course or you spend hours and hours studying through textbooks. Simply just think about ways that you can incorporate listening, reading, writing, and speaking of English just for 5 minutes a day into your routine. And I promise you that after it becomes more of a habit, this will become enjoyable, and this will become something that will really help you to boost your English level much quicker than what you would expect. Other ways to practice your speaking, of course, are through joining some kind of language exchanges or meeting up with foreigners who are speaking in English, or any kind of social event where you can practice speaking English to others. So you can find these events through a lot of social media platforms like Facebook or Meetup or Couchsurfing. Many of them will have language exchange events or any kind of events where you can meet people from different countries. And that's a great way to speak English if you are in a country that doesn't really have many English speakers natively. Of course, if you are more serious about your language learning and you would like to join some kind of online English learning site, this is also a great way for you to get daily or weekly practice in speaking one-on-one to another native speaker. So there are many of these language schools online that you can find, or even find a personal tutor that can come to your house and you can practice speaking with them. This is a great way to get really good practice in, and you can ask them any questions that might come up. And last but not least, please don't ever be too shy to get in touch with me directly. I am available through this platform, and you will find my email address. So if there are any things that you would like to share with me, or any questions you have, or maybe suggestions about the course, or anything else, maybe you'd just like to say hi, feel free to get in touch, and I would love to hear any feedback that you do have. And if you did find this course helpful and you know of some family members or friends that you think might benefit from the course, please do recommend it to them as well. The more people that we can reach, the better, because hopefully we can all get to a level of being comfortable speaking English naturally. Thank you so much for allowing me to accompany you on this language learning journey. It has truly been a pleasure. And again, I'm very proud of you for all of the effort that you have put in to getting to the end of the course. And I really wish you all the best as you continue on your journey to natural English mastery. Until next time, goodbye.